Hey guys, today I'm gonna smoke some beef ribs. These are one of my favorites to eat. There's not a whole lot of meat on them, so they don't take that long, but I'm gonna show you how I smoke beef ribs on the Rocky Mountain smoker, my Weber. So if you want to see how I smoke my beef ribs, then stay tuned. Alright, so with this smoke, it's only going to be about 4 hours. So I'm filling the charcoal, the ring, about halfway, and then I dug out a hole in the center where I'm going to pour the charcoal in that's cooking in the chimney right now in about 15 to 20 minutes. But in my last video, I had a question about the water bowl because I didn't actually show it or where it goes. So this is the water bowl. I just put tin foil in it to help the clean. It just holds water to create steam and smoke, and it sits above the charcoal. And inside this tub here, it has little tabs that hold it in place. So I'll show you when I put it together. And we're going to put about a gallon of water in it, maybe a touch more. And but I'll show you how that goes when we get there. But now that the charcoal is in the chimney, let's go get the meat started. Okay, now that I have the meat out of the bag, all I do for my my beef ribs, is to season them. And I only use salt and I use coarse ground pepper. Just regular salt. And then some coarse ground pepper, and I just put it on one side for now. Just give it a nice coating like that, and then I'm going to let that sit and soak in for a second, and then after a few minutes we'll flip it over and do the other side. So just to explain to you real quick what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap these because there's not a whole lot of meat on them, but man, these are my favorite. They taste so good. But I'm going to wrap them so it stays really juicy that way. It cooks a little bit faster. Not that I care that it cooks faster, but it is 3:30. I expect to get them on by 4, and it's going to take 3 to 4 hours to cook, so it's going to be a late dinner. But I'm going to wrap them. It'll keep it a little bit moist, and then like the last half hour I'll unwrap them, and then I'll slather them up with some good barbecue sauce and cook them for like another half an hour until they get hot. So that's the agenda, and I will show you this process as I go along. So we're gonna let this sit, and we're gonna go check the chimney and see if we can pour it in the coals and get those started. Once we pour the charcoal from the chimney on the coals, it's still gonna take a good 15-20 minutes before I put the meat on, so at that time I'll flip them over and coat the other side and then wrap them. So stay tuned. Alright, right in the hole. I'll let that go for a minute. I'll kind of get the charcoals there, that looks good. And I'm going to put some 4 big pieces of pecan right in front of the vents on the charcoal. So let's add a little bit more since some of these pieces are kind of small. We'll just put another big, that chunk is really thin, so we'll put another chunk there and another little piece over here. Alright, we're going to let that go, and now we're going to go flip over the meat and dress the other side. See you back inside. Okay, we've let that soaked in. Looks like it's going to hold pretty good, so we're going to flip this back over. Look at that, that's so good. Okay, this time we're going to Instead of using regular table salt, we're going to use some of this Johnny seasoning salt on the top side. We're just going to put some on. Just for a little bit more flavor and seasoning. Okay, and then we're going to put the ground pepper on. That's a lot of pepper, but when it smokes, it will definitely tame that down. Sometimes I like to chop up fresh jalapenos and let it cook with the fresh jalapenos, but this time, this is all we're gonna do to the meat. And so we're gonna let that sit, and we're gonna go get some water ready and put the smoker together and get going. I'll show you how that goes. Okay, we're back to set up the barbecue. So I have to tell you that I'm going to do this one-handed, so if it's a little wobbly, be patient with me. It is literally 114 degrees out right now, and I can't really set my camera up on a tripod because it's melting just as me holding it. So with that said, let's get this thing together. So we're going to start by putting the tub on, one-handed. Let's see how good I am. It's not super heavy, but it needs to go on in the grooves, which looks like I got it. So we'll spin it forward so the door's in the front, just in case I need to do anything. Usually I don't. But you can see how it's already, like, the smoke is turbulent in there. So next goes the water pan, which is right here. I put the tin foil on it. It actually goes in these tabs. There's 3 tabs, 4 tabs, 4 tabs. And we'll just put it right in the tab. And we're going to put a gallon of water in it. I put the tin foil on there to keep it easy to clean, because the meat drops a lot of fat, which is good, but it really cakes up in there. It makes it kind of difficult to clean. This is a lot easier. Okay, so put a gallon of water in there, and then we'll put the first rack on, right on the tabs over the pan, just like that. We'll put the second rack on, and it goes right up on the top on those tabs, and then we're going to put the lid on it, and here. And now it looks like R2-D2. So smoke me some ribs, R2. Alright, so you can see the temperature's already coming up. We want to get it to about 225, 250, but I don't think I'm going to get it down to 225 today because, like I said, it's hot. And I have to film this real quick because seriously, my camera keeps shutting off. So real quick, there's 3 vents on the bottom. They're all wide open, and the top's wide open. We're gonna let it go for about, it looks like it's heating up quickly, so I'm gonna already shut 2 of the vents. I'm gonna shut the back 2 vents completely so it doesn't overheat and I have to wait for it to cool down. So I really don't want to overheat it for the ribs, and we want to really slow cook it. So right now, as a recap, back 2 are closed, front's open. It's smoking like crazy out of the top, and we're just about to temperature now. So we're gonna let it go, and I'm gonna come back and check on it in 10 minutes, and probably put the meat on. So keep watching. While we're waiting for the right temperature, we are going to wrap the ribs in tin foil. So now it looks like a big giant TV dinner. Alright, so the temperature's just a touch high. I just closed the front a little bit more. So both the back vents and the front vent, both the back vents are closed. The front vent is almost closed. There's just a little tiny bit open. The top is wide open. And I will let you know that the top is always wide open. I never shut it. So from here on out, top's always open. But I'm going to throw the meat on. It looks good. So I will be right back. Alright, so I put the wrapped meat on. I couldn't do it and hold the camera. So I'll just show you. I just put it on there just now. And I put the probes on it. Probes are hooked to my thermometer. And we're going to put the lid on it. And we're going to come back. We are going to come back. Let's make sure that's on there. Yep. We're going to come back and check on this in about 15 minutes and do any adjustments we need to do for the heat. And probably 15 minutes after that, and then we'll probably just let it go for about 2-3 hours. So we'll check back in 15 or so. Alright, here we are. Temperature is right on the money. It's about 15 minutes later. I don't even think I'm going to have to come check on it. I think we're solid now. So we're just going to let this go for probably about, I guess I'll come out in about 3 hours and check the temperature with the probes and see where we're sitting, and then go from there. So maybe once or twice I'll just come out and check the temperature to make sure that it hasn't swayed, but I'll see you in about 3 hours and we'll do another check-in. So everything's looking good so far. Temperature's right on the money. Smells wonderful already. Can't wait to eat. Alright, see you soon. Okay, we're a little over halfway in the cook. The temperature's still looking good, but I think we're going to unwrap it now because let's check out the temperature. So it says that it's 90 degrees Celsius or 89, which is about, it's pretty close to 200. So I'm going to let it go because I want it to, we're a little over halfway through the cook, but the temperature is just about where I need it to be. So I want to unwrap it and then see what it looks like. So pull these probes out. See what these things look like. Oh yeah, alright. Look at that. Alright. I don't have a lot of editing to do, I can tell. Alright, so I'm going to clean up this tin foil that's blowing around, and then I'm going to come out and lather this stuff up with some barbecue sauce. So we'll be right back. Okay, here we are. We have probably about another hour left of cooking, and so I'm just going to throw on some barbecue sauce now and call her good. So I'm going to get rid of these probes and do this one-handed and just pour. I'm going to pour some barbecue sauce in here like so, both sets. Nice big thick, and then we're just going to brush it with the brush. Brush, brush, brush. Brush, brush, brush. this will flavor up these things. Sorry if I'm moving around too. The camera has a little tiny tripod on it, and it's poking me, so when I laugh the camera jiggles. So I'm going to try not to laugh. Don't make me laugh. Okay. A little bit more barbecue sauce, I think. Oops. Alright, that's looking good. It's smelling good. Alright, enough jiggling around. But I'm going to let that go for about a half an hour and I'll come check on it again. And then I think that we're good. Then we're going to have to let it rest. So, thanks for hanging with me so far. Looks great, huh? Alright, see you in about a half hour. Okay, after a 4.5 hour cook, I took the meat off the grill and it's time to let it sit and rest for an hour. So I'm going to cover it up and come back in an hour and it will be ready to go. Okay, it's been sitting for a half an hour and we're not gonna wait. We're gonna eat it. So time for the unveiling. How's it smell?
It smells delicious. It smelled delicious for a half hour. I've been waiting patiently.
Okay, well, we're not going to sit and debate anymore. We're going to eat. Thanks for watching.